Well, hey kids, it's Joe Rathbone for another episode of Look Here. Joe Rathbone. That's Look Here. We're looking and we're hearing. Oh yeah, we are. Hell of a week it's been. So let's get back to a little bit of song structure. And this week it's music built off of another kind of descending bass line. Last week we had the bass line. Last 2 weeks, that's what we would call a chromatic descending bass line, meaning it starts on a note, goes to the next possible note down in what are called half steps. And we did how insensitive. We built a chord. I must have seen when she told me that she loved me. So that chromatic bass line going down in half steps. And this week we're going to talk about another type of bass line that again will started on the same A, and this time it skips a note. It goes from A, skips A flat, G, F sharp, and then E. So it starting from an A, goes down a whole step, half step, half step. And if I play in that rhythm, which is really a waltz rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Picture yourself in a boat on a river with tangerine trees and marmalade skies. Suddenly someone is there by the turnstile, girl with kaleidoscope eyes. So a chord has been placed on top of each note. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the chord that Lennon starts on, of course, in Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is an A major. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the bass line is just achieved by going from the A, this time the open string, and the chord stays the same. It's kind of this beautiful suspended chord, an A major chord. And then the note goes down to a F sharp, and the chord on top is a D, F sharp A, followed by a D with an F in the root, changing the chord quality to D minor. A over G, D major, D minor. A over G, D major, D minor. And that, of course, is the beginning and the intro, the verse to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. We'll stay in the same key, and of course the Beatles, John Lennon, in I Am the Walrus, used the very same walk down. Except in the end, it goes from A, G, F sharp, F, G, A. Now I'm here as you are me, as you are here, and we are all together. See how they fly, see how they fly like Lucy in the Sky. I don't know the words, but again, the chord sequence is that A over G, D over F sharp, F major. Builds slightly different chords on top of those, though very similar. So it's obvious his mind at that psychedelic period of the Beatles, I Am the Walrus, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, was on the same page, and so much borrowed material. The keys are the same for the verses. The chord sequence is the same. So there's a lot of, obviously, he borrowed from himself, which is utterly fantastic and fine. That's what we all do. We borrow from others, we borrow from ourselves. If I took the key and changed it to D, let's go with yet another Beatles song, Dear Prudence. And you can hear that same walk down, except this time it's D, whole step to C, half step to B, B flat. And if you put a D on the top or part of a D chord, dear Prudence, won't you come out to play? And the whole song, dear Prudence, greet the brand new day. Build around that whole step, half step, half step. If I stayed in that key, I am he as you are me, as you are we, as we are all together. Same material, root note, down a whole step, down a half step, down another half step. If I switch to good old Steve Winwood and Traffic and Blind Faith, he'll start on a D chord for Can't Find My Way Home, but the verse really starts on the C. So we get a walk down that starts sort of in the middle. D, come down off your throne, leave your body alone. Somebody must change. And then he breaks the sequence. But from D, C, B, B flat, D, C, B, G, D. You are the reason I've been waiting all these years. Somebody holds the key. If we were to stay in D, moving to Neil Young, The Needle and the Damage Done. I see the needle and the damage done, little part of everyone. Again, D, C, B, B flat. Employing that same walk down in the very same key, and that walk down implies a certain mode in music, which is just like a scale. If we were in D, normally the scale would be, which we all can hear as do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But in the 60s, we started getting adventurous, and instead of having a leading tone, our seventh tone, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, we flatten that seventh tone. So instead of a D chord, it was bringing out the sound of a D seventh chord. Instead of the C, it was, instead of the C sharp, it was C. And if you dropped it, played the scale in reverse, D, C, B, A, G, F sharp, E, you would get what is called a mode, or in music, Berkeley graduate speak, the Mixolydian mode. And you have a whole plethora of songs coming out of that mode in the 60s, especially what's the Jesse Colin Young tune, love is but a song we sing, fear's the way we die. Again, D down to a C. Instead of using what is called a leading tone, we end up with just one note difference. Opens up an entire new vocabulary. There's one more song I'm thinking of that just came to mind, and I'm forgetting it. Oh yeah, of course. Norwegian Wood. Again in D. that flatted seventh tone, which I Am the Walrus, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Jesse Colin Young's Get Together, Dear Prudence, and I Am the Walrus all used. So that's the lesson for today for Look Here, Joe Rathbone. I'm Joe Rathbone from the Mercy Alliance, and one of these days we'll get to some more Mercy Alliance tunes, but to keep some continuity with the podcast, I'm sticking with these walkdowns for a few weeks. Hope you liked it. If you enjoyed it, give a like on the YouTube page or on the Instagram page or on Facebook or wherever the heck it is. And we bid you a fun Sunday night. It's non-alcoholic beer, so don't worry about me. I'm good. Klosthaler, something like that. Nice non-alcoholic beer. Sleep tight. Have an easy week. Don't work too hard, and listen and soak in as much music as possible all the time. And remember, our walk down lesson this week was from our root note down a whole step, down a half step, down another half step. That's it. Have a great night.